Okay, so here we are. We're going to do the video for a level 3 network adjustment. I'm actually going to do a couple of adjustments for level 1 or 2 first, and we'll be seeing some of the actions of level 3. So as I was explaining in level 1, our objective is to create a respiratory wave in the body that helps to reduce tension in the nervous system and in the spine. Level 2 is more working on posture and structure to stabilize the spine and make sure that you can prevent future problems. Level 3 is more awakening the person and getting them connected to higher things other than themselves. And you'll be able to see her. She does what we call a somatopsychic wave, and she does a fair bit of movement on the table. Not everybody needs to move as much as she does, but she's a really good example to show you how tension can really be moved through the body and released through the body through these kind of movements. Okay, find that much about movement. And remember, as I said in other videos, movement in the spine is called proprioception, and that is actually food for your brain. So this kind of movement that you'll see, it's very, very fluid, and you'll see that every single bone in her spine is actually very, very free, and it moves, and there's a lot of movement, and it will send a lot of information, a lot of good stimulus up to the brain. A healthier brain, a healthier nervous system means a healthier body in everybody. Okay? So I'm just going to do my typical assessment here to see where I need to do the first kind of adjustments. So I'm just going to do a quick adjustment in this area. First, I'm just going to quickly analyze your spine like I do with the other people, just to see the general mobility. Okay, so my first adjustment is going to be for this area here. And we're just going to want to see how her body reacts. So you can see her nervous system is actually very well trained, and it's developing these strategies. These are important strategies that every human being needs, from a baby that's just born to somebody who's got 130 years if we're living that long. But this is so important to have a flexible spine and nervous system. And this is a strategy, we call these developing strategies, that a lot of people say, well, I just need to get back to where I was before I came here, something hurt. So when you see this kind of movement here, I will say that this is a video for mature audiences because it can look weird to some people if they don't know what this is. So this is her body actually utilizing the tension or the stress that it's accumulated during its life to actually know and move that around so it can actually start to self-heal. So as I've said in other videos, it's not me healing the person. I'm just helping the body develop strategies to heal itself, because the body's way more intelligent than me and every other doctor in the whole world. So as you can see, she's starting to develop a really calm, good kind of wave that's kind of gently going through the whole body here. So I'm going to see if I need to do some other type of adjustments. Okay. So now I'm going to do an adjustment that's for the second vertebrae in her neck right here, but I'm going to approach it through this area here. So this is more of a second level contact where I'm trying to get her to pay attention right there. And remember, as I said in this level 2 video, when we see figure of 8 kind of movements, we know that that's a really good, healthy kind of thing because it's taking the joint through all of its range of motion, and that's sending lots of that good proprioception stimulus, as I said, to the brain. And as you can see, there's a lot of action right in this area here. And the wave is starting to go through the spine. Okay, so I can modulate a little bit how I want. If I wanted to kind of go side to side, I can do that kind of thing as well. So if you can really focus in on that, okay, there's a lot of her muscles are very, very specific, close muscles in these areas. It's a really refined kind of movement in the second level and the third level of care. We want to see the body can really specifically go to certain areas and start working on it. And this is so important, it's hard for people to even understand the value of something like this. And some people will look at this and say, that's weird, I can't relate to that. And other people can look at this who've never done this before and say, I got to get me some of that. So these are the kind of people that I would like to see in my office, that this looks interesting to them and they'd like to develop these strategies for themselves and for their family. So I'm just going to actually just show some other types of positions or movements that I might do. So sometimes I might do something to this effect here. Okay, just to help open up this area. Okay, sometimes I might do it on one leg or the other. Sometimes I might actually lift the person up here. Okay, And actually, I might do some coaching at certain points of it during the care too. Okay, telling people to hold this, lift this up in the air, move this off to the side, getting the person actually do a little work as well. Okay, so I'm going to do just quickly some second level stuff that I had done previously. Just in this position, as I said, I like to work on the posture of the body, trying to help the brain reorganize the spine so that way it's keeping the head over top of the shoulders, over top of the pelvis. Because almost everybody in our society has their head going forward now. Computers and everything else, the stress is all accumulated. We're getting what we call defense posture. We're always ready to attack. We're always ready to be on the defensive. This care is trying to open up the body. Okay, we want the heart center here open up, the spine flexible. Okay, so. Okay, so these areas where I'm touching here, we call them spinal gateways, and it's just an area where the spine is actually at ease in that area. That's where the spine is working properly. So I'm not trying to affect the spine and trying to fix the part that's broken. I'm actually trying to increase the part that actually functions well and help the other areas. So now we're going to do some other type of work that we do in the third level. And this is really we call it the opening up of the body, because when the heart here is actually open, the spine is flexible, and the person is actually open to change, open to discovering new things in life, open to different ideas, different things that they might do to help them with their health and other things, okay? So there's a little sequence of things that we might do in this position here. So just checked again for these gateways that we call them, and I'm actually just going to apply some pressure in certain areas of her body, and I want to see actually specific reactions in her neck, just so that I know that her body can connect top to bottom and all around, basically. That's helping bring in respiration and breathing. So in first level, we're trying to get the pelvis and the neck starting to coordinate and oscillate together. And then the third level of care, we actually want the heart center here to start oscillating as well. So we can see basically movement all the way through her whole body, basically. Okay, this helps to develop flexibility, expansion, just openness to the world in general. Flexible spine, flexible nervous system becomes a flexible person in a stressful world. So these kind of movements here are just really, really phenomenal things when people start to experience what this actually can do for their body. It's really an amazing thing. Okay? So in this position here, sometimes I might actually do certain things like working the spine from the back here. And at certain times I might actually take the person's hands, get them to come up like this, reach for the sky, reach for the stars, or I might actually come up this way to work on different areas of the spine. Okay? So when somebody has this kind of movement, this kind of flexibility, you know, people come to chiropractors for a lot of different reasons, and they're almost always the wrong reasons, as I've talked about in the positioning statement. Somebody says, well, what does this have to do with my low back or my sciatica? And really, it has nothing to do with it and everything to do with it. That kind of flexibility can obviously help this body heal from all sorts of things. Okay, but as I've said so many times throughout the site, we're not trying to treat symptoms or diseases in chiropractic. We're trying to develop these strategies, especially with this technique, to help the body develop strategies, evolving strategies that it can actually start to expand and heal itself, and just awaken to a new world, and to understand that this is 100 times more important to a baby or a baby that's just born than an adult that's already 80 years and has all this, so many years of accumulated stuff. So the more you can understand that the younger you are when you do this, the better it is, because having these kind of strategies when you're young is just awesome, and then if you can grow up with them, we're going to have a really super community, basically, and a nice world to live in, basically. So thanks for your attention.